Buenos dias, all. RGT85 here. Hope everyone is having a great morning. I have some expensive car parts coming in today. Very excited for it, but you're not here to hear about that, although I may make an Instagram for my car. You are here to hear about video game news. We got a couple stories going on that I definitely want to cover. If this is your first time here, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit that bell notification as well. But without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on in the world of video games. And we're going to start things off with some news about what happened at EVO 2022 this past weekend. Now, I'm a decent-sized fighting game fan. I do enjoy them for the most part. I kind of like 2D fighters more than 3D fighters, unless there's a nostalgic thing there. I watched some of PlayStation. They were hosting an event for EVO, and like these hosts that they had, I don't know, man, they're kind of questionable. Like, they were just kind of like quiet, and you could tell that they were a little bit timid in front of a camera. Like, get people who are excited in front of a camera. That way you generate buzz and you make people want to come watch you. But beyond that, we had some game sort of reveals that happened at this event. First off, Tekken 8 was actually teased at this event, and that's a big deal. You know, Tekken is a fighting franchise that has been around for a very long time. I remember playing over at Pablo's house, playing, it was Pablo and John P was his little brother's name, and they had a PlayStation 1. I remember playing Tekken there at the release of the system, and just absolutely being blown away. It was so cool. It was so awesome. King is such a cool character, and of course Tekken has been a staple in the fighting game franchise for a long time. Now, we don't have any real information on when we're going to see more from Tekken 8, or even really just get the big announcement and the big reveal of this, but it definitely is coming. I feel this teaser definitely led you to believe that, hey, Tekken 8 is coming. You'll probably see it sometime in 2023. Maybe it releases then, maybe it's a year or two away, who knows, but that's very cool stuff. And also, Maximilian Dude is probably very happy because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 has been freed. It's been freed from the shackles that it has had, and now it can exist and be a game, because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is indeed coming via Arcade1Up. This is something that we talked about a few weeks ago on the channel. It seemed like pretty much a lock deal, a done deal, and then at the event, of course, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was announced. There's a ton of games on there. It basically is like encompassing other Arcade1Up cabinets, like the Marvel Superheroes cabinet, games like X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, and, you know, stuff like that are going to be on this cabinet. Of course, there's going to be Marvel vs. Capcom 1 on it, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the big game. Now, I do have to question one thing with this, though. I don't feel like this cabinet's going to be $700. Like, that's kind of the standard now for new Arcade1Up cabinets, and that's sort of what we've all just, you know, kind of gone along with. You know, obviously I've been very vocal about it. Things like The Simpsons, things like X-Men, they definitely weren't worth the $700 to me because there was quality control issues. But I feel like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, having all these games on it, I feel like they're going to try a new price point entry with this. I think they're going to try like $1,000. And if they go $1,000, it's like, how much can you really push people? How much can you really push the limits here? Obviously, there is a ton of interest in it. I will be interested to see one thing, though. There's a lot of people that have been saying, well, if this is coming out via Arcade1Up, why hasn't this game been released on consoles yet? Because this seems like something that, you know, a lot of people would really like to play, obviously, because it's a classic fighting game that has a huge fan base. I think this could really open up the door for that, though. You got to remember, Arcade1Up did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet that had Turtles Arcade 1 and Turtles in Time, both the arcade versions, on it. And now we're getting the Cowabunga collection, which includes those and some other games. So I think that's actually a good sign to see this on modern platforms. Whatever the case may be, it was a decent weekend at EVO for fighting game news. Sony, you know, tighten up a little bit, get some better hosts of it, but definitely some very exciting stuff. Do you plan on trying to pick up this Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet? Because this is going to be a pain in the ass, yo. I could see it coming a mile away. Let me know in the comment section down below. Have you ever given up on a game and then like looked back a few years later and been like, maybe I shouldn't have given up on it. Maybe I was too hard on it. I'm actually doing that right now with Metal Gear Solid 5. So if you want some Metal Gear Solid 5 content, let me know in the comments section down below, because I just finished Ground Zeroes last night. I decided to boot it up once again. Played through Ground Zeroes, I freaking loved it. I used to be a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. One day, I'm going to do a long essay-like video on Metal Gear Solid 3 and why it's one of the best games of all time. I used to be a diehard, but just something happened along the way. I never could love Metal Gear Solid 5. Kiefer Sutherland definitely didn't help. I want David Hayter. I don't want Kiefer Sutherland. But I'm going back. I'm giving this game a second chance. Ground Zeroes blew me away. I forgot how good that was. You know, it only took me like an hour to play through it, but just phenomenal. So today I'm starting up my Metal Gear Solid 5 journey. Let me know in the comment section down below if you ever give up on games that you feel like you're going to love and then revisit them years later to see how they play. And let me know in the comment section down below if you want some content related to this game, because kind of feeling it. I think I might make some content on it, you know, just sort of talking about more in depth why I hated the game originally. Well, I didn't hate it, but why I didn't like it, why I thought it was the weakest Metal Gear as far as the mainline games were concerned, and if now playing it in 2022 my mind has changed. And finally, old man RGT, he tried to tell you that everything was going to be okay with this. Everything is going to be fine. Calm yourself. There's a method to the madness. You're going to get a full reveal of stuff very soon with this, but people doubted me. They doubted me, and I understand that, you know, not right about everything, not wrong about everything. Kind of a 50-50 chance, but you know, for the most part, I feel like I do a good job of presenting stuff on this channel. I do feel like I do a good job of, you know, speculating about stuff like this, and my speculations are now justified when it comes to a huge game getting its own Nintendo Direct. Yes, kids, we are getting a Nintendo Direct this week, happening this upcoming Wednesday. It'll be going on at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And what is it for? Is it for a variety of games? Is it for a bunch of stuff? No. It's for the one game that everyone's freaking out about. There's puppets. Puppets are getting this game. That's the same. There's kids online like, oh, why haven't we seen anything from it? But we saw Pokemon. Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3 is getting like a 30-minute presentation happening this Wednesday. So I said it was going to be okay. Okay, I said that Nintendo was going to come along and reveal all the information about the game. They're not just going to throw it out there. I said that there was probably going to be some presentations potentially for this, and now we're getting a presentation for it. Will there be anything else at this event? Probably not, but there doesn't need to be, because Splatoon 3 is obviously the next big game from Nintendo. This is kind of kicking off, leading into the holiday season and leading into what you're going to be playing this holiday season. Splatoon is a huge game. It's a game that has a huge following, and it's really one of Nintendo's most important franchises because it has just a global appeal. Like, no matter if you're a kid or an adult or whatever, like, everyone loves Splatoon. It's a fun game. Now, we do have to see the evolution of the franchise happening at this event, I feel. I think it's going to look like Splatoon, but I feel like there's going to be refinements to it. There's going to be more stuff added into it, more levels, more weapons, more different tactics that you can do, stuff like that, polished up graphics, polished up visuals, potentially more online stuff, potentially more single player features, because a lot of people are like, oh, it just looks like Splatoon. It's like, well, no shit. What do you expect? It's not like we're rebooting the franchise here. It's only the third entry in the franchise. So why would you go against the grain and completely reboot it and do something completely different when it doesn't really need it quite yet? You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't something that's really outstayed its welcome or anything. People are still clamoring for a new Splatoon game. And with 30 minutes, you're going to get a lot of freaking shit in that, as far as explaining what the game is all about, explaining what modes are going to be there. So I'm actually excited for this. Like, I'm not the biggest Splatoon head in the world. I do enjoy the game, but I'm actually excited for this. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to learning about what is going to be at this, what is going to be involved with this game. What have they added into the game? And will there be enough for the casual person who just says, oh, it just looks like more Splatoon? Will it will be better for them to, you know, see what the advancements are in the game, see what they have done to make this game a proper sequel? Or there's always that chance that maybe some of those naysayers were right, and maybe it's going to be a little bit light on content. You look at some first-party Nintendo games as of late that have an online multiplayer component. Looking at you, Strikers. Looking at you, Strikers. Disappointing son of a bitch. But you know, there could be some credence to it. Of course, I'm just taking jabs, you know, harmless jabs at people in this segment. Don't get all angry or something like that. It's all jokes, it's all love. But let me know in the comment section down below, are you looking forward to the Splatoon 3 Direct? What are you hoping to see? What are you hoping that they add into it? I think a new single player component, kind of like, you know, an actual single player component. I feel like that's going to be something that's involved in this. I feel like there's actually going to be like a story more so than, you know, the first two games. But let me know what you think of it in the comment section down below. Alrighty, so that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me your feedback on everything, man. The Evo stuff. Did you watch any of the Evo stuff? If you did, was I too mean about the PlayStation percentage? I don't know, man. They just kind of They were just boring. They were like putting me to sleep. I'm like, yo, be excited, man. It's fighting games. Those are cool. Are you going to try to pick up the Arcade1Up cabinet? Do you think I should make content on Metal Gear Solid 5? Because, I don't know. I just don't know how I'm going to feel about this. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. Like, Ground Zeroes kicks ass, but I don't know, man. I'm getting a little nervous. And, of course, Splatoon 3. Are you a kid now? Are you a squid now? Are you ready to get your split on? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Yeah, I completely lost my train of thought right there. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys check out the second channel, too. I haven't been canceled yet with all my live streams, even though my stories are just... You know, some people can't handle it. I like to do the Patrice O'Neal thing. I want 50% of the people laughing in the chat, and I want 50% of the people to be absolutely horrified in the chat. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.